The Persian Empire, vast, powerful, unstoppable, ruled by Xerxes, the God King. From the Indus River to the Aegean Sea, his word was law. Millions bowed before him. Xerxes inherited an empire built on conquest. His father Darius had tasted defeat against the Greeks at Marathon, a stain on Persian honor. Xerxes would not let it stand. He swore vengeance. Greece would be his. The Greeks were a fractious bunch, independent city-states always at each other's throats. But they shared a common enemy. The Persian threat united them. Athens, the birthplace of democracy, Sparta, a warrior society. Together, they would face the storm. The clash was inevitable, East versus West, freedom versus tyranny. The fate of the world hung in the balance. The Persians were used to easy victories. Their empire had swallowed countless cultures. They expected the Greeks to crumble, but the Greeks would fight. They would fight for their homes, their families, their way of life. This was a clash of civilizations. The East, with its absolute monarchies and vast multi-ethnic empires. The West, with its fledgling democracies and independent city-states. Something had to give. The First Greco-Persian War had ended in humiliation for Darius at Marathon. The Athenians, against all odds, had repelled the invaders. Xerxes would avenge this defeat. He would erase the stain on his family's honor. He amassed the largest army the world had ever seen, 1 million men according to Herodotus. Modern historians believe the number was smaller, but still staggering. The Persian war machine was on the move, its sights set on Greece. Imagine the logistics, supplying a force of that size. The Persians were masters of organization. They had built a network of roads and supply depots. They dug canals. They bridged the Hellespont. Xerxes' army was a spectacle to behold, a vast multi-ethnic force. Persians, Medes, Babylonians, Egyptians, Indians, all marching under the banner of the Persian Empire. The Greeks watched the Persian advance with dread. They knew they were outnumbered, but they would not surrender. They would fight for every inch of their land. Their freedom was not negotiable. The Spartans with their legendary discipline and martial prowess, the Athenians with their navy and their cunning. Together, they would face the Persian onslaught. Section 4. Guardians of the Hellenic world. Leonidas, the Spartan king, a warrior's warrior. He led 300 Spartans to hold the pass at Thermopylae, a narrow pass where the Persian numbers would count for little. Themistocles, the Athenian general, a cunning strategist. He knew Athens could not withstand a siege. He would use the Athenian navy, their greatest weapon, to strike at the Persian fleet. The Greek strategy was one of delaying tactics, to bleed the Persian army dry, to wear down their morale, to make them question the wisdom of this invasion. The clash was coming. The world held its breath. Section 5. Fire and Fury. Thermopylae and Artemisium. Thermopylae, the hot gates, a narrow pass, the perfect killing ground. For 3 days the Spartans held, against overwhelming odds. They inflicted heavy casualties on the Persians, but they were betrayed. A local shepherd showed the Persians a secret path. The Spartans were surrounded, annihilated, but their sacrifice was not in vain. They bought precious time for the other Greeks to prepare. At sea, the Athenian fleet clashed with the Persian navy at Artemisium. It was a close-fought battle. The Greeks inflicted heavy losses, but the Persian fleet was too large. The Greeks were forced to withdraw. Athens lay open to the Persian army. The situation looked bleak. Section 6. The tides turn at Salamis. Themistocles lured the Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis. The Persian ships were large and cumbersome. The Greek ships were smaller, faster, more maneuverable. The battle was a rout. The Persian fleet was decimated. Xerxes watched in horror from his throne on the shore. His dreams of conquest were shattered. Salamis was a turning point. The Greeks had proven that the Persians were not invincible. The tide of the war had turned. The Persians would never again pose such a threat to Greece. The Greeks would go on to win further victories at Plataea and Mycale. The Persian Empire was in retreat. Greece was safe, for now,